Okay, so here is our answer key for solving for y. We have several different types on here. Okay, so for number one, if we want to get y by itself, right, the only thing that's sitting over here with it is the 3x. So we're going to undo adding 3x by subtracting 3x. These cannot be combined, so we'll get y equals negative 3x plus 6. Number two, okay, if we want to solve this for y, again, we're going to get rid of this x. It's the only other thing sitting by it, so we'll undo a positive, right, we're looking in front of it. We'll undo a positive 9x with a negative 9x. Okay, so we'll have 3y equals a negative 9x plus 12. Then we're not done yet on this one because we still have the number in front of y, right? So we'll divide, we'll undo multiplication with division. That goes in every single term. Okay, so if we divide with every single term, that will give us y equals a negative 3x plus 4. Okay, number three, solve for y. Okay, we're going to get the x moved, so we'll move a positive 2x with a negative 2x. Sorry, I'm not in my classroom. Everything's set up a little bit different today, so we're going to do the best we can. Now, be careful with your negative. This is a negative 1/2 y equals a negative 2x plus 6. Okay, then we can either undo this 1/2 by dividing by negative 1/2. And remember, dividing by negative 1/2 is the same thing as multiplying by 2. The key is that it has to happen in every single place. So you're not taking half of a number, right? Dividing by this negative 1/2 is really the same thing as multiplying this by negative 2/1. Okay, so these will cancel and we'll get y equals a negative times a negative is a positive 4x. A positive times a negative is a negative 12. Number four, okay, we'll move a positive 5x by subtracting 5x. And then we'll undo multiplying with division in all three places. Now the 5/3 we can't do anything to reduce, but the two negatives do turn into a positive. And then a positive divided by a negative is a negative, so we'll get 5/3 x minus 3. Number 5, the y is over here on the right side, so the other thing that's over here with it is this 8. So we're going to move a negative 8 by adding 8. Okay, then we'll undo multiplying by 2 by dividing by 2. So we get 3x plus 4 equals y. If you like that better in its other format, write y equals 3x plus 4. Number 6, we'll move our positive 3x with a negative 3x. Again, watching our sign, that leaves us with a negative y equals a negative 3x minus 14. So we really have a negative 1 sitting here. Okay, so we'll divide by negative 1 in all three places. So we'll have y equals 3x plus 14. Number 7, don't let the fractions throw you off. We still want to move the x first. So this is a positive x over 4, so we'll move that with a negative x over 4. So it'll leave us with y over 3 equals a negative x over 4 plus 5. We will undo division with multiplication. And again, make sure we're multiplying this entire side by that 3. So that will leave us with y equals a negative 3/4 x plus 15. Number 8, actually fold this so I can see better. Number 8, we're going to move the positive 4x by subtracting 4x. So that leaves us with a negative 3y minus 7 equals a negative 4x. We're going to undo subtracting 7 by adding 7. Now, if you would have moved those in reverse order and moved the 7 first and then moved the x, that would be fine as well, as long as you get them both moved over. Then we'll undo multiplication with division. Two negatives make a positive and a negative make a negative. Number 9, all we have to do, right, there's nothing else sitting over here with the y except this 2, so we'll undo multiplication with division. So that says y equals 5 over 2x plus 4. Number 10, we'll move our positive 8x by subtracting 8x. So 10y equals a negative 8x plus 20. We'll divide by 10 in all 3 places. Now these need to be reduced. Okay, we want to make sure we have our fractions in reduced form. So negative 8 over 10 is going to reduce to a negative 4 fifths x plus 2.